Yeah, my next guest is responsible for much of that. Scott Presler, founder and executive director of Early Vote Action, joins us now. Scott, good to have you back with us, sir.
Hey, thank you.
I want to start with Butler, Pennsylvania. I know you were standing alongside President Trump on stage this weekend. What was that like, and what was your message to that crowd?
Well, Laura Trump invited me on stage, and I so wasn't prepared. I was wearing shorts because I was registering voters there at the rally. But my message was speaking to groups like union workers, saying to them, we want your vote. And more importantly, we want to keep your union job here in America. The Democrats are sending your jobs overseas. I spoke to our beautiful Amish because the Amish are under attack by Democrat Governor Shapiro with raw milk and religious freedom and school choice. I also spoke to our fraternity brothers and sisters because young people, they want to be able to afford things. They want peace, not war. And they may and can register to vote legally in Pennsylvania if they're from New York, from New Jersey. As long as they're going to school in PA, they can register to vote. And so my message was one of go to vote.pa.gov, register, and vote for Donald J. Trump and deliver Pennsylvania this November.
Tell me about voter registration in the Keystone State right now. What kind of success have you had? Those Republican numbers do sound good, and even today we get even more encouraging numbers there.
Oh, we're absolutely crushing it. We got data today at 10 o'clock a.m. And so the data is in the last 7 days, Democrats added 8,000 voters statewide in the last 7 days, while Republicans added 15,800. We nearly doubled the Democrats. And furthermore, 3 times as many Democrats switched to Republican as the contrary. And we made progress even in Erie County, Northampton County, Center County. And here's the biggest thing of all. You know, they always say that the Southeast kind of trends to the left, and you got Montgomery, Delaware, Chester, Philly. But Bucks County, we have flipped Bucks County to a plurality of registered Republicans. And furthermore, there are now 3,000 more registered Republicans in Bucks County when 4 years ago there were 15,000 more registered Democrats. That's a shift of 18,000 to the right, and a state that was decided by 80,000 votes. Our voter registration is making a real impact.
That's for sure. You know, Pennsylvania, you mentioned it a moment ago, there's a lot of colleges and universities in Pennsylvania, a ton. I went to one of them. I went to a Catholic college up there in Pennsylvania. And you really, that is such a key point that if you are a college student and you happen to reside there because you're going to school there, you can vote there. Now, you can't vote anywhere else. But boy, if you're going to pick a state to register and to vote, it would be Pennsylvania this year. Scott, what does that look like on those college campuses? How much success are you having getting students registered and supporting Republicans?
Well, we are courting students at Temple, at Villanova, at Slippery Rock, at Penn State, all of the campuses. We're going to Pitt. And really, it's a message of, do you want peace that we had under President Trump, or are you possibly going to be drafted for Kamala? You know, Putin has invaded Ukraine under Kamala and Joe Biden. That is factual. Do you want to be able to afford a home? Students, do you want to be able to afford a car? Are you happy with $4 gas? Or
Right.
was life better and easier and more affordable under President Trump? And I'll tell you, Center County is below 1,200 voters away from flipping to a plurality of registered Republicans. Dare I say, that is historic. We are seeing Gen Z come over to the right and think in a way that I think hasn't ever been done before. And even millennials, my age group, that age group that, you know, brought upon President Obama, they are now shifting to a majority of registered Republicans. And so young people, you have a choice this November, and I'm asking for your vote for Donald Trump. If you want peace, if you want to be able to afford things, and if you want safe streets for your future children, then vote Trump.
Scott Presler, I like to go to the Dulles Gun Expo from time to time here in our area. And when I go, what I was really pleased to see was that your organization has a presence there, registering people to vote, gun owners to vote in order to protect the Second Amendment and their rights. Tell us about gun owners, hunters. We hear sometimes these reports that gun owners, although there are a lot of them in the United States, are in some cases not registered to vote in many cases. What's happening there? What are the trends showing?
This is huge, and I spoke this on stage at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. 30% of Pennsylvania hunters are not registered to vote. That's 300,000 people in a state that was decided by 80,000 votes. Hunters, if you register, if you vote, we win. 40% of Wisconsin hunters are not registered to vote. Hunters, if you register and you vote, we save our great nation. And I have a call to action today. I want everybody, whatever state that you're listening to, if you're in Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, then print off voter registration forms. The deadline to register to vote in Pennsylvania is the 21st. I want you to visit your local VFW or American Legion, visit your local fraternity house, visit your local gun shop, bring voter registration forms with you, and ask the owner, ask whoever is the leader there, and say, listen, may I leave these voter registration forms for you and your entire crew? It is so imperative that you register, that you vote. And we are seeing massive dividends in this courting of the hunting community. And the last thing that I'll say is that Early Vote Action, earlyvoteaction.com, that's my organization, we're putting big teepee 3-foot sized signs in orange safety color with black lettering that says 30% of Pennsylvania hunters are not registered to vote. Hunt or be hunted. Vote or be hunted.
Can I go back in time? First of all, I love the message that you're sharing on getting hunters and gun owners registered. But I want to go back in time a little bit because I talked to you some time ago about this. Pennsylvania, as of last year, imposed an automatic voter registration, motor voter law. In other words, like when you go to the DMV, you can automatically register to vote in the process of dealing with the DMV. As I understand the data here, Scott Presler, that has helped Republicans tremendously. Is that true?
Yes, Democrat Governor Shapiro, while I don't agree with your taxes, while I don't agree with you coming after raw milk and the Amish, thank you for the automatic voter registration, which is getting a lot of white, working class, blue collar Pennsylvanians that wouldn't have registered to vote otherwise or may not have voted otherwise. Thank you for getting them registered to vote, because the motor voter has actually gained a plurality of registered Republicans over Democrats in that process.
Yeah, and that reflects the data that we're seeing nationwide among Americans who are not registered to vote but are eligible to be. They are wildly supportive of Trump, aren't they?
Yes, plus 17. And so, in addition to, as I said, the call to action, guys, anybody listening to the show right now, you can do this. Go to your VFW, go to your fraternity house, go to your gun store, go to your RV park, go to your beautiful trailer community, go to areas where you think people feel disenfranchised, feel like the forgotten men and American women in our country. You court their vote, you bring voter registration forms, you get them registered, you can help save our country.
Scott Presler, tell me, you mentioned a couple times, so I want to know more. Tell me about the Amish vote in Pennsylvania. What are the habits among the Amish in Pennsylvania when it comes to elections, and what might be different this cycle?
Well, they get married on Tuesdays in November. What happens on Tuesdays in November?
Yeah.
Election day.
Yeah.
So we're using a tool, the Democrats, and we're getting the Amish to register to vote and do a mail-in ballot. Remember, a mail-in ballot's a paper ballot, and you don't need to use electronics in order to use paper. And so I can show you data in Mifflin County and Juniata County, in the center of the state, Amish-centric counties, that actually Republicans are out registering the Democrats in mail-in voting. And I think it's in part because of our beautiful Amish. I want to make it clear, the Democrats are anti-school choice. Democrats are anti-farming. They're against raw milk. They're against Make America Healthy Again. They are against our religious freedom to be able to practice as we choose here under our First Amendment right. The Democrats are attacking every single aspect of Amish living. And one member of their community, Amos Miller, the Democrats literally seized a Fourth Amendment search and seizure violation, taking away his granola, taking away his raw milk, his dairy, his butter. And so the Amish are personally seeing Democrats actually wage a war against their way of living. And I think that's why we're seeing a record number of them join as new registered voters. And I'll tell you, I just got off the phone today. We are going to be doing a mailer to tens of thousands of unregistered Amish talking about all the things I just explained to you. We're going to also mail them a voter registration application. And again, in a state, in a commonwealth that was decided by 80,000 votes, every single vote matters.
So completely critical. Finally, Scott Presler, before we let you go, I want to get your reaction to Elon Musk's decision to begin using his America PAC to offer $47 a piece for every registered voter who is referred to a petition that says, I support the First and Second Amendment inside of these swing states. Do you think that's going to be helpful to your effort to get people registered?
Well, I have 8 words. First, Elon is a king, and God bless Elon Musk. Truly, I'm so glad to see finally conservatives having some money behind our causes that we can focus on voter registration, focus on getting people to the polls. And I fully support the America PAC, and I hope that these millions of petitions that they're getting signed are going to bring a lot of those low propensity voters that may not have voted otherwise to the polls. And last thing, this is very important, to all of my Virginia people, my Commonwealth of Virginia people, Virginia is in play. Early voting has begun. If you don't want to do it by mail, go vote early in person. Type into the internet Virginia early voting locations. In Fairfax, I know it's probably the courthouse or something like that, but Virginia is honestly in play. You need to support Hung Kao for the United States Senate. Of course, I'm asking for your vote for Donald Trump. And we have several congressional seats that we can flip from blue to red. So put the same amount of time and talent as you would into Pennsylvania, as you would into Virginia, because that wins the White House.
All right. Great message from Scott Presler, as always. Sir, thank you very much with Early Vote Action. Nice to talk to you, as always.